for the next panel discussion, everyone. And for that, it is going to be chaired by Wing Commander GS Punia, everyone. And for now, next, I would like to invite him on stage. Further, we have our panelist. So once again, I would like to call Uday Kumar sir on the stage. Next up is Sri Surendranath Das, CEO Azure Cloud Services. Keep it going for everyone. Can we have a round of applause? Okay, next up is Sri Rohan Verma, CEO Map My India. Do we have Rohan sir here? Okay, next is Ms. Poonam Gupta, CBO Drone Maps Private Limited. Next, Sri Amit Saxena, once again on the stage. And last but not the least is Sri Vishal Joshi, Head Training and Certification PDRL. Once again, give it up for the wonderful panel, everyone. Thank you.
Once again, good afternoon, everyone. This is a surprise to me. I am not that prepared for this because this was supposed to be chaired by Mr. Basudev Bhatia. Because of some reason, probably he is not available. But I, at the same time, consider myself lucky to conduct panel discussion on this topic. This is a very interesting and a very excellent topic. I would say it's very much required topic. That the topic is identifying gaps and challenges in geospatial industry. So just to set the tone, I would say geospatial data, for that matter GIS, is is the most important aspect, is the most important science or as well as art we can say, which has application across the field. When I say across the field, I would say sky is the limit. Just think of any industry, any setup, or for that matter anything, be it agriculture, agriculture से लेके aviation, manufacturing से लेके service industry. You can talk of anything. Government e-governance से लेके local applications. It has GIS as application each and every field. And if you can use this GIS properly, then most of the problems, I would say, are, if not solved, reduced to a great extent. It has military applications. Military mein to like, I would say, it is exactly, now you can say, is a game changer, I would say. So, not taking much time between you and amongst the panelists, I'll just introduce you with the panelist. With me is Uday Kumar sir, Deputy Director General, Delhi Headquarter, NIC, Government of India, sir. Welcome, sir. Then we have with us Sri Surendranath Das, CEO, Azure Cloud Services. Welcome, sir. Then we have with us Mr. Amit Saxena, Regional Sales Head, Tremble. Welcome, sir. Then we have with us Mr. Vishal Joshi, Head Training and Certification, PDRL Private Limited. So, just to start this discussion, I think we can start with Mr. Surendranath. As I mentioned that there is no dearth of data. Data is available in plenty. Yeah. But the problem is how to find the required data, both in terms of quality as well as in quantity? How you can address this challenge?
Yeah, address to this, there are lot of data available across the government and private in educations also, but there is no compatibility between the data. Suppose Survey of India is having some formats, NIC is having some formats, and DST is having some formats. So there is no compatibility. When we are implementing any services or solutions and want to integrate it with the existing system or the new system. So because of the not compatibility format, so these are the problems we are facing every day in to implement any new solution. And traditional approach of the government organization to adapt the new technology like AI, ML or blockchains, they are not readily acceptable because of the human resource problems. They don't understand the technology. So there are a lot of awareness gaps in the systems also, which is a difficult task for us to create a good solutions to implement.
Thank you, sir. Very rightly you have said so. And for the next question, I'll request Mr. Uh, then is uh, Mr. Amit Saxena from Tremble. Sir, Tremble is doing a great job in this field. Uh, I can make out that over a period of time, the quality of machines in this field has improved like anything. Their usage has improved. At the same time, quality of data has improved many folds, many folds. But at the same time, it has not been percolated to the common man, and government still remains unaware how to use this. Can you elaborate on that? How we can address this challenge, sir?
Thank you, sir. Very important question. I think I will divide my answer to this in different parts, citing an example of a parallel industry. Uh, so first part is that all the data that we are capturing is absolutely going to be consumed by the sectors, whether it is water, road, highways, railways. The fundamental problem that we have, the instruments are improving. They have reached a level wherein the changes are happening which are required as per the industry. At the same time, the software is also playing a critical part in the role of hardware. That's where Trimble is moving. The basic fundamental issue is that, as highlighted by Sir earlier, that even though there are SOPs being laid, there are agencies who are working on it, but I think the lack of SOPs before the deliverables and after the framework that has been created as a policy guideline. I think the usage is becoming a critical area wherein some level of information is missing. And that is why, even though we have high end hardware and software, and there is a knowledge available, there is a clear guideline being made available to all the people, but I think there is a step which is missing to produce the quality output. Just to give you a parallel example, we have apart from the construction industry where the drone data is primarily and mostly being consumed apart from land and defense, we have a great example of manufacturing industry. They standardize, and when I say manufacturing, which is high-end manufacturing, even from the distillery bottles that are lying here. So about 20-25 years back, whatever they manufacture anywhere in the world, they will say that, okay, this technology, this material, this output, standardized one way or the other. Whereas in the construction industry, even though we have standardization in certain areas, but it has not gone down the level wherein we say that, okay, the survey, which is the most critical part of any project, most of the projects that are getting delayed are because primarily of the bad survey data that has been collected for multiple reasons. One, we use primitive tools. Manufacturing doesn't use any primitive tools. Lack of knowledge. There was lack of knowledge in manufacturing, but it has improved over the period of time. And then we have high-end, projects that are being delivered day on day out. Statue of Unity, and this structure. There is so much of work being done, but then the basic fundamental parameter, even as I was mentioning in the session today, that even the ground control points conversion to a drone is not being done by many people, and that is why it is leading to this kind of issue.
Right. Sir, next question, Uday sir. As we all know that there is no dearth of data, data is available in various forms, and but the issue, one of the main issue, what we see is the interoperability of data. We collect data using satellites, we collect data using mobile phones. Oh, sorry. Uh, we collect data using drones. We use we collect data using other ground equipments and raster data, then the vector data. How to use these data from one set to the other, in one form to the other. Basically, the question is how we can integrate all these kind of data. That is, they become interoperable. And not only from operational point of view, at the same time, how we can reduce the cost part of this data for utilization. This is the question to you, sir.
Actually, we say a lot of data, but if you see the geospatial policy document,
Sir.
it really says it has set a target for 2030 and 2035, and it has assigned the roles to different ministries what they need to do. That is one set of data, and as far as GIS is concerned, there is a concept called scale of mapping and the sort of planning you want to do. You want to do a regional planning, you require a different set of data. You want to do a detailed planning, you require a different set of data sets. So somebody, whoever is using GIS data, they should be clear that for what purpose you are using that data. If you want to do a district level planning, 1 is to 50,000 data is good and it is available across. If you want to do a say block level planning, you may require a 1 is to 10,000 scale data. You want to do a detailed planning, you may require a 1 is to 4,000, 1,000. It depends on the kind of planning you require. Regarding interoperability also, you need to understand the scale of planning and data sharing. Basically, what data sets are required at what planning. See, there are challenges in India, like they were discussing about agriculture. Still, the crop estimates are done it using sentinel imagery and Landsat imagery. But what is required is a much granular data set for proper agricultural planning. If I have to plan for my fertilizer demand, so I should know what kind of crops are being done. It's a, everything is done in a say ad hoc manner. It is being, yes, to some extent it's fine, but you require more granular data to properly plan your fertilizer distribution. Similarly, even road planning, you require a proper land-based map of India, land records. The land records, when different states are creating these land record maps, we have an experience through Matrubhumi project where, like he was mentioning, you need to have that survey knowledge and accuracy level, and otherwise the data sets become incompatible. The way the question you have raised is incompatibility is in the survey, incompatibility in the integration issues, and incompatibility in the data, the scale, which scale, where you should use. That understanding should also be there for achieving better use of GIS data across.
Right, sir. If you can throw some light on the geospatial policy, what are the important points on it, sir? As you mentioned, so.
It's a
Just a
huge
very salient.
document. Basically, they have decided on 14 themes of data collection and they have distributed them across ministries. Many of the themes like administrative boundaries and topographic mapping and DEM, DTM, these have been given to Survey of India, that is the mandate, and they are now working on that and they are coming out with a I think 6,000 crore project for creating that data framework. And then there are other ministries like transport, road network has been given to transport, railway network has been given to railways, settlement and the building footprints have been given to Ministry of Urban Affairs and Ministry of Panchayati Raj. So different data sets, the ownership has been given to different ministries, and Survey of India plays a coordination role in that, so that all this data can be collected, can be collated, can be distributed. So there is a council which has been set up to do all this coordination. That is GDPDC, that is Geospatial Policy uh, Development Council, headed by a industry veteran, and where all ministries and important organizations are involved. And of course, there are some reforms regarding survey policies, training of surveyors, skill building, and also there is a vision for creating a digital twin concepts by 2035. Like forest mapping has been given to MOFCC, Forest Survey of India, and the scale of mapping is different from what is the scale of mapping for urban areas. Similarly, for rural areas, what is the scale of mapping? What kind of things should do? So,
Right.
it's a huge document, but some of the salient
Right,
points are there.
right, sir. As you mentioned, training, sir. I also feel so. Training is a very important aspect as far as not only GIS industry, be it any industry for that matter. Whereas in this, it becomes more important because data not only changes the perception but changes the planning and the complete implementation part thereafter of the project. So, and accordingly, this data not only needs to be correctly collected, means by the well-trained people, but at the same time, this needs to be well certified also. So, my question next is to Mr. Vishal Joshi, is that how this we can take on the training part and certification part, how we can improve upon it. Can you elaborate on that, sir?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Uh, as we all know, drone industry is rapidly growing. So, in the near future, data will be playing a very important role. Currently, in the GIS domain, all the data and images those are processed, those are mostly used from satellite imagery only. But since now there's a huge gap between the industry requirement and the trained resources. We have worked upon some training models and certifications, and those certifications and training models we are taking it to the colleges, universities, and the partners. There are various applications like the construction, mining, agriculture, and they need a lot of training. Most importantly, these are the industry required trainings, and there is a huge gap. As on date, the curriculum what we have today in the training institutes or maybe colleges, that is not that is not giving a complete solution to all of us, and we have a lot of dependencies on many service providers, and that is the reason the skilling and reskilling plays a very important role, and we are trying to breach these gaps.
Right, right, sir. Now I ask next question to you, sir. Artificial intelligence has a role in each and every field, and when you talk about GIS in this field, I think its role is much more than any other field. So, how AI can be best used in this industry, and what do you think? What all problems AI has solved in this GIS industries?
Yeah. You see, this AI is a very good tool for the GS industry in terms of the requirement. Suppose we are talking about the agriculture, and basically, as I told, is based upon the requirement as the scale of mapping. Suppose we are doing a property taxations mapping, and we need a exact area of the plinth area of the building. So there it is very difficult to implement the AI. But in terms of create a GIS data base map to do the survey. A surveyor will go with a full building footprint. So AI and this ML engine can be developed to automatic classification based of the training data sets. So these can be help in a very limited times and to address the problems. Similarly, in the agriculture, when we are doing a parcel level of agriculture informations using Sentinel or maybe the Lancet data or the this multispectral list 3 and 4 data, we use the AI ML technology to classify the cropping patterns and yield estimation. So there are a lot of advantage of this AI data when we are talking about a regional scales and to a planning purpose. When we talking about a precision mapping when it comes to the property taxations or groundwater monitoring or the water resource information, then it may have some limitations. But it give definitely, and even in the power distributions also, like high tension lines, low tension lines, we can able to do the through the AI mapping. And there is a punches of any in the disaster management in a electric distribution also can be utilized in the. So AI has a tremendous applications in GIS which can be effectively used for that.
Next to Amit Saxena, sir, this Trimble equipment, there's no doubt that it's a very good equipment. As in your talk, you mentioned that you have reduced its cost substantially over a period of time. But still, I feel that it is quite costly as compared to others. Uh, don't you think that cost should be further reduced to enable common users to make use of the best kind of technology which is available in the market? Do you have any plans in this regard?
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's a very valid question, and this question has been asked by our customers on daily basis. I think over the period of time, the value of positioning, which we specialize on. For example, if I take a road construction example, the first step is measurement of land. So there is a survey being done by one person. Then the design, okay, the design is already there. So they compare it with when they start construction. And then while doing the construction, the machine control systems are using the same positioning technology. Now the cost is always high when we initially adopt anything. But if we see the benefits, there are many benefits for the same technology. So the same GPS receiver is used from capturing the first level of survey data. And by the way, the feedback that we receive from most of the survey companies and the road construction company, their projects are delayed or the money is being lost primarily because of the poor survey data. So that's one part. Second part is that in order to make our technology affordable, so there are two modes of work we have done. One, GPS receivers, very expensive in the past. Now we have launched a lightweight. I will not call it as cheap because it is having technology of highest grade, and the workflow of the software, which makes Trimble very unique. The other part that we are also doing is creating the workflow so that people don't need to adopt multiple technologies for completing single task. So that enables a user to reduce the cost as you progress in the field.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Amit. Yeah, now we are open for questions. Please, ma'am, go ahead, please. I'll just, can anybody give her a mic?
First of all, thank you for this session. We just entered when we saw this GIS and how drone can be integrated with this. So just 2-3 months back, actually we are from school, and our students, high grade students of 11th, 12th, did collaboratively work with DRDO scientists on GIS tool, and very nicely they integrated with the three problem statement what they made, and they wanted to know was temporal soil analysis, density of different land, India and abroad, because there were 6 schools connecting with from abroad also, and slope and aspect. My question to you is, suppose the school students are already involved and engaged in doing such a good survey with GIS and integrating it with their studies with geography and geology. Uh, are you or your company in thinking of somehow, coming to school, or will my children get benefited anywhere with the drone integration with their investigation and finding? Thank you.
Who would like to take Amit or you? Okay, you, please take. This question is to whom?
Any
Anybody?
one of you.
मैं दे दूं. Ma'am, very valid point. I think with my experience of working with many colleges and universities in the last 25 years, and more importantly with schools, sir knows in the past, definitely there is a requirement for training the students. But I think, and there is an exposure that Trimble can also help with these receivers, wherein some fundamental level of training can be provided. But I think it needs to be further enhanced with the knowledge being imparted to the teachers so that they can impart the right knowledge. We can give you knowledge on the processes, how to do it, but ultimately they need to learn. So the answer is yes, we can do that. The
Thank
only
you
thing
so
is that
much.
drone, we don't have drones. We do have technology to help drones fly. So we need to tie up with somebody to help complete that cycle, from beginning to end.
Yeah, if you know that CBSE has a course called Geospatial Technology, as a vocational course in 11th and 12th also, which gives the basic of the GIS and remote sensing in the basic level. So there is a vocational course, and the student can adopt that course instead of mathematics or physics also, that they can take the geospatial technology. It is introduced in 2014, and several schools have adopted that technology.
country needs to be established, which can be thereafter disseminated, based on the requirements or based on the agencies that are using it. Means the accuracy of it can be regulated so that there are no security concerns. So these some of these questions which are coming up are on that field only, sir. That till we decide on one agency, we'll keep repeating the entire process again and again, and the work will be repetitive. May I just say one more, sir? Sir, at this moment, there is a disconnect, definite disconnect between the training portion of drones and between the industry. Like means we were working in agriculture. The 16 pilots that that we employed for using in the agriculture sector, nobody had an RPC. So this problem also needs to be tackled at the institutional level, where if there are laid down guidelines, training will shape up to the requirements of the industry. But presently, what is happening is some of these people, most of the people who are flying outside are not RPC trained. So what is happening is DGCA is on its own trip, and industry is on a different trajectory completely. Thank you, sir.
Sir, before you take the first question is with you, let me finish off the second question. Sir, regarding second question, yes, we do agree that there is a gap between training and its field use and its output. Yes, DGCA till now is just giving the basic certification permission to the RPTOs to impart certificate. And in fact, in that also, checks and balances at present are not there at the level which, or the level which there should have been. So having said that, yes, every field requires specialized training thereafter. It is something like गाड़ी चलाना आपने सीख लिया एक गाड़ी पे, तो ये नहीं कि आप सारी गाड़ियाँ चला लोगे. It is just that you have a basic knowledge about one thing. Thereafter, you need a specialized course in every field. Suppose if you are going to go in this field of surveying, in that case, you need to have, rather than knowing how to fly a drone, you need to know the basics of GIS for that matter. And that course will require at least, in GIS field, if I say, at least 2 weeks time just to understand how to collect that data and give it to the required agency for its further use. Same way, the course in other fields also may range between 2 weeks to 4 weeks thereafter, after having the basic training. And in this direction, various organizations are working. As I mentioned in the last panel also, regarding agriculture course, we have formulated a 21 days course, and it has been submitted to Agriculture Skill Council of India, and thereafter it will be taken up with the government. So it will come up in due course of time. Things presently are in nascent stage, but in due course of time, things will come up. Yes, definitely we agree that specialized training for a particular field is required. Without that, it is not of much use. Till then, we have to continue with the unskilled manpower, and we will continue be feeling that कि हाँ हमारे पास कमी है कि कैसे इसको data collect करना है, and we will keep struggling on this regard, sir. This is the second answer. And first question, sir, Uday sir, if you can.
Yeah. Actually, there are few platforms which are serving this data and collating the way you say is data has to be collated. One platform is Bhuvan, which is run by NRSC and ISRO. The second platform which we own is Bharat Maps. We collaborate with about 7 to 8 ministries and collate all their data. We are Panchayati Raj has this Swamitwa data. It's a huge repository, about 1.5 petabyte data, which we are collating and we are serving to people. Similarly, we will be working with Amrit project for collating all their data sets. I am also working with schools, Department of Financial Services for banking infrastructure, Postal Department, Department of Post. We are bringing all the point data sets which is there across different silos. We are trying to bring on one platform. I think at the state level also, state SDIs are being set up. Some are proactive, some are they are not very active, but efforts are there. And Gati Shakti is also enabling everybody to create data and prepare data so that everything can be collated on a one single platform. That's a big platform where data is, but as I said, the policy itself says that a lot of data need to be created. That is a process, and there is a defined timeline for that. As the data is coming up, data is being collated. Like all national highways, the national highways has a repository. It is flowing into Gati Shakti. Similarly, railways have their data, which is again flowing to Gati Shakti. So where the data is there, it is flowing to Gati Shakti. Where data is being prepared, is it in the process of creation and getting collated. And NIC in its own way is also enabling many departments in bringing data sets together and creating a platform. Our Bharat Maps is an open platform. Everybody can visit there. All administrative boundaries and everything is available there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just one point to what Vinko Punia said. In the latest 19th of August amendment CAR, which has come out from DGCA, sir, they've increased the number of hours required for a particular RPI, this, that, everything to 20. So now what is happening is, like you are saying, there is a specialized training. So this from 4.5 to 15 hours of additional training. Like I also did my agri spray, this, that, everything, 30 hours I flew, because now there is this compulsion from DGCA side. But the connect between DGCA and industry needs to be in such a way that beautifully we skill develop and those people are available to the industry to use. That needs to be worked at the government.
Your suggestion is very valid, sir, and DGCA we hope must be working on this how this gap can be filled of training on a specialized field, say in agriculture for 15 hours, another 15 hours in this field. Any other question, ma'am? You had one more question, no? Or it's okay? You were saying something, and then you had any your queries are answered. Okay.
I think this will be the last question for this round, and after that, we are going to have lunch for next 30 minutes.
Thank you. Sir, we are a round square school and connected with 250 schools all over world. And we are again planning GIS 6-month collaboration with, last time we did with 6 Southeast Asia schools. 6-month collaborative project. So my request is, I would like to take someone of you who can help us. We are planning again soil too, and we want now AI integration with GIS, because the students have gone beyond the curriculum of CBSE and have done a lot, and they are equally par with any college students, the kind of work they have done. So may I request to get some link where I can write mail or, you
Actually,
know,
actually, actually, ISRI has started one collaboration project with an NGO for giving training on this GIS part. You can just touch base with me so that I can pass on the details to you for training. And AI, I think the best source for now is GitHub. You go to GitHub, explore the tools, and then perhaps for doing AI, your students require a kind of a GPS resource, which is very costly. Perhaps if Azure or AWS can enable that kind of a environment, they can use that for doing any AI. Thank you.
All right, now let's have a huge round of applause for all our esteemed panelists here.
Thank you.
Thank you.